Hello. Yes, I do think I'm live here. So I am having technical difficulties. Fred is not able to click the link and get anything but a troubleshooting message. So we have to postpone him coming on unless unless he figures it out and fixes it and can get in. Um, I have on my screen waiting for guest, and for some reason, the link that's supposed to be clicked on can't be clicked on. It takes him to a troubleshooting screen asking to update something on his end. So I don't know. But so what I'd like to do, I am going to leave it. Oh, hi, Adrian in Ohio. What I'm going to do is just do a Q&A session. I was prepared to show you. I actually recorded some of my gym workout today at the gym so that I could have Fred critique it. But he has said that if he can't get it figured out to get in here, that he will come on next Tuesday. So I will do that whole thing on Tuesday. But so what I'm going to do today, since this is the topic and this is what uh, I guess a lot of you are interested in hearing about, since I set this up ahead of time. So I am. Oh, hi, Lee. Um, so I'm going to take questions. Actually, you know what? This is really strange because I'm not even seeing any questions because I'm in this weird screen that says I'm waiting for a guest. So um, I can't even. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me see if there's a chat. Um, Chat viewing options. All messages are visible. All right, I'm seeing your chat. Okay, now I got it. So, all right, I am going to just go over a little bit about the slow burn method as far as uh, the mechanics of it. And I did bring a couple of dumbbells out because I did do slow burn for I actually started slow burn during the lockdown quarantine. So for me, the slow burn started as an in-home training sessions, and let's do a Zoom call instead. um, so I made there's a section in Fred's book about doing it from home. I found after about 3 months, I outgrew the home version because it gets to the point where you have to hold a weight heavy enough that it becomes really cumbersome and hard on your hands to hold a weight heavy enough to be able to reach failure. So that's what I mean by sort of outgrowing it. Now, you might be able to do it with a X3 bar, and I'm not a gym rat, but almost 73. I need some resistance training to be strong. Pam, okay. Um, Dee said she bought the Slow Burn book a couple weeks ago, and great. Looking forward to learn more. I will definitely be able to have him on next Tuesday night because, oh, there's Fred. He says, so sorry he can't connect. Um, so, gosh, Fred, I wish it could work, but we'll do it the alternate way that I spoke about. So we'll get you on next week. Hopefully, I'll get this figured out. But I can't. We're just gonna go with this. I am going to tell you uh, the by showing you with this how I work out at the gym, which is it's an incredible method, and only 30 minutes twice a week is what I do. So what I'm gonna have you watch me do is just a bicep curl as if you were doing it from a home. I'm gonna have to move out of range of. I have one of those ring devices and it's notifying me somebody's in the way. Oh, hi, Susanna in California. Okay, so Uh, the premise of this is choosing a weight heavy enough. Let me put these down a minute. Choosing a weight heavy enough that will cause you to reach muscular failure between 60 and 90 seconds. Fred will be able to come on and correct me next week of any sort of mention of the method, but this is how I've been doing it now for, I guess, a couple years. So uh, when you're at the gym, it takes a little bit of time the first time going through the machines to figure out what that weight is that will cause you to fail between 60 and 90 seconds. There's a lot of ways to do it. Initially, I just used my phone. I had a one of those. There's lots of different timers you can get. Workout of the Day timers, WOD. It's a free app, but you can just set a 90-second timer. And then what I did was I wrote down. I was at, let's say, the chest press machine. I would guess a weight and I would see if the motion was causing me to fail between 60 and 90 seconds. The motion has to be very slow. The first inch, you want to take 2 to 3 seconds to move it that first inch because you don't want to be hot out of the chute there because it's time under pressure. And you're literally moving it this slowly. Same thing on the reverse. First 1 inch, 2 to 3 seconds, and you're coming back. So with now, when I'm at the gym, I will sometimes do free weights if somebody's on both of the bicep machines. But for the most part, oh, so Fred said I'm correct. Awesome. Okay, so I have 15 pounds in each hand here. And so I'm going to just show you. I don't have a timer on here, but I think this is going to be approximately what is the right weight for me to reach muscular failure within 60 to 90 seconds. Now, the awesome thing about this is as you progress and it gets to the point where I'm going to fail at closer to 90 seconds, I'm going to bump up the weight so that I now fail back at 60 seconds. And it's a pretty incredible way to just witness yourself getting stronger. Now, I'm not counting how many reps I'm doing. I'm only going to do one set. And you can see I am still going. Good. Brett says I'm still correct. I'm so glad. And you'll see now, I can tell, man, this is burning. This is rough. This feels good because I know I am firing up the slow twitch and the fast twitch muscles in there because I am now at the point where even if you had $1,000 waving in front of my face, I cannot lift this any higher. I'm fried. I'm done. I was gonna ask Fred, so then at this point I just slowly lower it down. And guess what? I'm done with biceps. I get off and yes, you recruit slow to fast. So I'm reading what Fred is writing in here. So then I go on to oh, Fred, I was going to ask you too, when I get to that point of muscular failure and I'm at this point where I'm literally kind of trembling, I typically, this is just the method that I have sort of taken on. I typically try to just keep fighting it and keep pushing, like keep thinking I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I keep that attempt for a period of time and then I let it down and then I go, okay. If that point for me is right about at the top where I'm failing, I will slowly let it down and then I go for another. I go, come on, do it, do it, do it. And I just try one more rep. Yes, try for several seconds. Awesome. So yeah, so I literally I hold that position because that's like the money shot for me. I feel like that's the point where my muscles are sending a message to the brain like, we need to start, or my brain's sending a message to the muscle that we need to build stronger. This, like, we are intended to be able to go out and hunt and survive and climb. And if our muscles are sending the message that we are struggling and we are in potential trouble, we are going to, then that's how our body knows to start trying to build more muscle. Fred still says I'm correct. I'm so glad. Fred, I can't wait to have you on next week. I will, I promise I'm going to try to do a different method so that maybe your phone or laptop will be able, I think we'll be able to do it on laptop. So, all right. So here's the thing with this. I do lower body first, because that's what I've heard is better to do, is the big muscle groups. And so I'll get to the gym, and then I will hop on either the leg press machine where I'm sitting down and both legs are pushing. And again, it's very slow. The first inch, 2 to 3 seconds, you're not, given that jerk of a push. And that's why this method is so beneficial for not injuring yourself. Because when you think about it, how total preference, upper or lower first? Oh, okay. So you can do whichever you prefer. So for when I am starting out, I don't know why I do lower first. I think I read that, but I do, yeah, I do chest, leg extensions, leg curls. Then I will go over and do hip adductor machine. Sometimes I don't do every one. Like they have a calf one where you're putting your toes on the bar, and I like to do that because I like to get my calves here. I don't know, but I think it's nice to have toned calves. So I do the calf machine, because my goal, we want to, and for all of you, even if you're 70, if you're 75, if you're 80, I have actually even talked an 83-year-old woman to start going to the gym, and she's going and loving it. You guys, if we're not getting stronger, we're getting weaker. Leg curls work the calves too. Yes, but a totally different burn that I get when I am doing that thing. But I can you send the exercises? Hi, Jean. Um, yeah, any age 9 to 99. How about 100, Fred? Come on, let's not exclude them. um, but for me, the way, here you're never going to hurt yourself, because here's the thing, right? Whatever exercise I'm doing, how am I going to hurt myself? I'm not going to jerk my back out. I'm not going to, you know, do a shoulder, tear. I mean, how are you going to hurt yourself when you're moving like this? But this is so, so effective in building muscle. Uh, the injury is almost impossible, Fred said. Hi, Deb girl. Uh, Debbie girl. That's so. The next thing I'll do, and you don't have to be so strict about I think people think, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. You know what? Just go in there. And I sometimes bop around to different machines, because there's a tricep machine where I'm sitting and you're pushing down on this thing. And again, it's very slow. You're mainly trying to concentrate on figuring out. Look, I even have a little try definition there. You're trying to figure out which weight to use. And what I did is when I first started, is just kept a little uh, section on my iPhone, in the notes section, I'd said Planet Fitness, and I would say I would write chest press. And it's so quick and easy to figure out the seat position. I'm 5'3". At Planet Fitness, I do just about everywhere. I just put it on a 3. 3 is about works for me. Um, so, is any kind of warm up necessary before starting? Mary asks. So for me, no. Fred might overrule that, but I don't think so. I think you just jump in because guess what? You're just doing slow motions, right? So what are we going to need to warm up? Uh, so Fred says no. Look at that. Uh, and I don't believe no warm up required, he says. I don't even think you need a cool down or first few reps are the warm up. Yeah, so realistically, he's exactly right. So when I first pick these up, and I'm moving slowly, but I'm warming up my muscles right here in a perfect way, right? And then, like I said, by the time, again, we don't count reps, we just keep doing the motion until you get to that point where you're at failure. Doing the same bicep curl. Boy, I'm gonna get some guns for the summer. Sun's out, guns out, right? uh, so let me just try to think to myself how I go through my workout. I literally march in the gym because I know it's only going to be 30 minutes. I go straight for Fred. How can someone get your book? I have the book linked in my Amazon, or just type in Fred Hahn Slow Burn on Amazon and you'll find it. And so I get to the gym, and like I said, I just prefer to do my lower body first. And for the last few weeks, and I love it. Good, Jackie. Jackie's in my groups, and that's one of the steps in the welcome email that's very extensive that they've all been getting for this summer challenge because I am on a mission to get people to be able to drop weight. And I wanted to talk to Fred about this too because there's the saying that your washboard abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. And I was going to talk to Fred also about diet because I know he follows a very heavy meat based carnivore-ish diet, I'm pretty sure. So we'll talk about that next week. I had a whole uh, agenda that we were going to go through, but um, so let me just say also, so when I'm at the gym, after I do, I just if somebody's on the next machine that might be let's say the leg press, I just go over to the leg extension and I'll do the leg extension that day instead of the leg press. um, Carnivore and strength training equals happy healthy people. Right? Yeah, and it's so important. I really feel walking, strength training, and carnivore is just the trifecta. And if you're not strength training, you seriously have to get your brain wrapped around the fact that this is not for gym rats and those people who you used to just think of like, oh, those people go to the gym and they're muscle heads. And I get so often women exercise does not burn much, if any, fat. That's what Fred is saying, and I truly believe that it's what is going to show up when you do get the fat off by what you're putting in the pie hole. Remember, I'm very, very adamant about you have to have less energy coming in than going out if you want to get rid of some fat. I mean, I'm looking to be able to by the end of the summer. I'm hoping to have more cut, a little bit lower body fat. What about yoga or Pilates? Those are good for relaxation and meditation. I really personally do not feel it's really important to uh, push flexibility. I think that I think that, well, there's a lot when I do my hip abductor and adductor. Um, there is some stretching involved. I'll when I do the pull down, I'm trying to be able to do a pull up. I used to be able to do pull ups, and but so I'll do the pull up assist. I'll show you the videos next week, but and then Fred, you're gonna have to tell me as far as the abs. I and the abs is the only one that I don't go by the slow, and I probably should, but if people have seen me, I get on that kind of looks like a jetpack thing, and then I just am lifting up my legs like this when I'm on that jetpack thing, and both legs up, and I can do about 22 now. But I guess I should be doing the same slow burn method for my abs. I need to build muscle. Muscle helps burn fat. It does. It is part of a huge beneficial metabolic cycle that you will get in when you've got fat. It's never better to move faster. I know. I guess I feel like I could get the abs done quicker, but I still have a little work to do on my abs, but they're getting there. um, so the yeah, it's just so important to build muscle. You want to have the muscle to be number one, strong to survive for the zombie apocalypse that's coming. You want to be able, and that strength translates also into balance. And if you are like falling off or slipping, having the strength, being strong as opposed to skinny, fat, and weak is going to really help you. And there's studies that show if you're admitted to an emergency room, the percent lean body mass that you have is a huge marker in your ability to actually end up leading. More muscle will increase metabolic rate, but not much. Yeah, so it's not about building the muscle so that you can then be burning all this fat and now be able to eat a ton more. Totally get that. I'm on this path now that I feel I'm just so excited from so many of you who have joined into the summer challenge and are making changes and are being very successful in only the first almost 2 weeks now of the challenge of learning so much about yourself through the different steps of the challenge that it's driven me to really want to keep trying to get people to understand that the more strength you have and the more emotional control we have over our eating and why we're eating and not eating for entertainment, not eating for boredom, not eating for stress or anxiety or anger or even happiness when you're in an environment where everybody else is eating all the crap. And that's part of it. But it's mandatory that in my groups that you get walking and lifting weights. And I keep trying to say, it's come on, guys, it's literally 30 minutes twice a week. I like today, even those days where I'm like, oh, it's a gym day for me. I got to get to the gym. Even if I'm kind of like struggling with it because I have 29 things to get done. I'm like, nope, I'm going. It's only 30 minutes. And I can really, I can do the whole full body. And that's another question a lot of people ask is, do you split up, uh, chest and back and legs and leg day? And I go, no, nope. Every day is full body every day, meaning just 2 days a week. Um, I was going to actually also talk with Fred about timing of these, and I basically work out usually Tuesdays and Fridays, depending if my schedule shifts. It might be Wednesday and Saturday. Work your body as a whole. Yeah. So just start to finish. I'll come out of there and I am, between I'll sometimes and I'll do different exercises when I'm upper body. I always try to do a push for the chest press, a pull because I'm trying to get my pull-ups. There's also one where you're doing I grab this thing and I'm doing this and back. Fred says 2 days rest in between is good. Three is okay too. Yeah. So that's my pattern. I'm just doing basically Tuesdays and Fridays for the most part. I pick 2 days. Ideally, maybe I would do. Tell me if I'm wrong, Fred. Maybe I should be doing Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and just keep skipping 2 days, and maybe that would be more effective to get more buff faster. Get buffer faster. 501 days, no coffee or caffeine today. Awesome. Yeah, and cleaning up the diet is so important too because we don't want inflammation in our joints. Sugar, even sometimes dairy, carbs, processed food, all of that is going to be an issue for getting healthy. And the more metabolically, let's say the cleaner our diet is, the more metabolically healthy we'll get as far as insulin sensitivity. So I can't emphasize enough for anybody out there who is not going to the gym twice a week for 30 minutes, you're doing yourself a huge, huge, huge disservice. Um, Fred, if you're still on here, Fred, not more effective to train too often. We want to discover the least amount of exercise we require, not the most we can withstand. I love that because I am so comfortable in the pattern of how much I'm lifting, and I feel that I am definitely showing gains. So I don't think there's really any benefit. Did you already do the workout? Um, so for anybody who's joining late, um, Fred's going to end up joining me next Tuesday. Um, he had technical difficulties for some reason. It kept trying to send him to a troubleshooting, and we're going to figure it out so that I give him a different method to come on next week. Uh, so yeah, I didn't go through the whole workout, but what I'm going to say now is if you're not working out, the gyms can be so inexpensive. All right, Fred. Even I'm Fred. I'm hoping maybe we can figure out the YouTube today's version because I know it works. It's just there's some sort of glitch. Um, so the gyms are like $10 a month. I my gym, the Planet Fitness, is $10 a month, or they have a $25 a month one. I do the $25 so I can work out at any Planet Fitness around the country, and it also gives me my massages because after I work out, I treat myself to a 10-minute massage. They have hydro massage and they have the chair massage, and they also have a red light booth. They've got tanning, and it's all included in the $25. So if you're going twice a week, it ends up being like $3.15 each time you go. So there's no excuse as far as that. And I got to tell you, you cannot use the excuse of you can't use the excuse of you don't have the time because it is ridiculous to think that you can't possibly spend 30 minutes on Tuesday and 30 minutes on Friday and tell me you don't have the time. It's just not an excuse. Um, and the way I look at it, do it like it's your job and you're going to do it for the rest of your life. Just suck it up, Buttercup. It's worth it. It is so worth it because this is really important to long-term health. And I can't, it's not just a matter of, somebody saying, well, I'm okay not having muscles or, I'm okay that I'm I don't want to look muscular. It has nothing to do with that. If we don't have strength, there's this thing called sarcopenia that is muscle wasting. Pretty much after the age of about 35, we will actually start deteriorating and reducing our muscle. You will feel so good so fast, Fred says. Yeah. And I've had some people who have been with me in my group for the past year. And after me subtly pounding it in everybody's head and talking about it fairly frequently, she, at the age of, I think she's 70, uh, joined a Planet Fitness just recently, and when she's in the meetings now, she says, I am just so grateful in and uh, am I frozen? If you're not actively becoming stronger, you are actively becoming weaker. I look like I'm frozen here. So, Maria said you can hear me, but you can't see me. Keep talking. We hear you. All right, Cindy Bonk. Okay, so I'll probably, what ended up happening is I didn't put the do not disturb on my phone because I was needing to leave it on in case Fred was calling to do a last minute uh, troubleshooting. And so a phone call came in, and for some reason on these lives, they seem to negate something in the video. All right. So, yeah, so you feel so good so quickly. It doesn't take that long to actually start making advances. Oh, good, Joanne. You said you can hear me too. I know, Fred. We're going to make it happen. We'll make it happen. Yeah, and Maria says she has dumbbells and kettlebells. So, um, Bevy Girl says it's Fred's fault. Oh, good. Pam ordered the book. And yeah, I guess you are joining Planet Fitness next week. It would be so awesome. Wish I could just jump off of here and then jump back on, but that'll probably mess it up. Okay, so that's my takeaway on this whole thing is if I can do as good a job as I feel I do with the carnivore movement, if I can do that, getting people to strength train, I would be doing you a huge service to get you motivated to do this. And it's not difficult. It's, I mean, some people will say it's boring, that they like the fast pace music and activities and people with the CrossFit gyms. And I'm here to say that I know many people who have injured backs and knees. Jen, I don't know why the picture's not on. I do know why. A phone call came in, and it somehow YouTube's algorithm doesn't like to have a phone call disruption. So yeah, so I'm going to just say that it's so important, and I want everybody to understand just as much as the importance is of the food that you put in your mouth is the strength training. And you have to understand that, and you have to understand it's simple and it's easy. And what I was getting at with, you could say, well, I don't enjoy it, so I won't do it. Well, you know what? I don't always. Okay, Fred says it's exercise versus recreation. Recreation is for fun. Exercise is not, but it's rewarding. Yeah. So everything we don't do, we don't love. I mean, we brush our teeth every day. I mean, do we really love doing that? Um, Do you have to set music to it and do it with friends to like it? It's because of Dr. Lisa that I started strength training. Oh, thank you, Joanne. I'm so happy. Okay, Maria says, I'm intimidated by gyms. I feel like a fish out of water. All right, this is something I wanted to bring up, Maria. Nobody cares what you're doing at the gym. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody cares what you're doing. Nobody cares if you don't know what you're doing. Nobody at the gym gives a crap about you. Nobody cares. So just get that through your head. And you know what? You shouldn't care what anybody at the gym even thinks anyway. But people at the gym are kind of self absorbed. They're trying to, most of them are trying to really work on their physique and they're concentrated on what they are doing. They really, honestly, truly, you have to believe me in this, they don't care. Just do what you must be done. Lisa is right. Just do what must be done. Yeah. And and so could I say that this is really oh come on, you'll like it. It's enjoyable. I have to say that when I'm reaching muscular failure at each of those machines or with my free weights, if I'm doing that, then I can tell you at that moment where I'm getting to that next to last rep that I know I'm going to get in, and then I'm going to go on to the last one where I know I'm going to fail. You could say it doesn't feel great, but I love it. You know what? I embrace it as that moment when my body is telling my muscle to kick it in high gear. And that's the moment that I'm making a difference. So like I said, I embrace it. I I just I have a different mindset with it. But yeah, it's not a lovely, wonderful, beautiful feeling. Uh, it is the just the point of uh, that's where you need to get to signal your body to start building the muscle. All right, I'm going to jump off here because I know it's kind of silly just not having anything to watch. I might as well just do a podcast. But I'm thankful that you joined. I'm sorry about the little technical glitch that we've had. Fred says it's exhilarating and rewarding. Yeah, and actually, it's motivating when you're doing this and you're you're continuing it with consistency so that you get to that point where you're actually motivated by seeing the incremental improvements that start happening. So it's really rewarding. Oh, thanks, Fred. Fred said everything that I'm saying spot on. I'm so appreciative of you and your work and getting the message out about this method. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty decent job about talking about this and at least informing people of this way because so many people, and I got to admit I think I was this way too with the whole thing with how many reps and how many sets and which body parts to do on which days, and there was so much that it seemed too complicated. Can you go straight from the couch to the gym? Strength training, absolutely, Beth. Absolutely. You can go from the bed to the gym. It doesn't have to be, you don't even have to make it to the couch. Go from the bed right to the gym. Yeah, you can just start. And that's why I was trying to show you with that dumbbell exercise that it is so simple. So maybe you'll have to start with 5 pounds. And I'm doing, yeah, Fred says yes. I'm doing 15 pounds now with, to reach failure within 60 to 90 seconds. But hopefully I'll be at 20 pounds or 17 and a half pounds I'll increase to next. And that's um, that's what's so important about this. You don't have to have any like skill set. You just have to start. So Fred says you don't have to be in shape to get started. Start to get in shape. Absolutely. There's no skill set involved here other than just having the knowledge of these are slow motions to failure and you're choosing a weight that will get you to that failure point. I'll put a link to the book in the show notes here as soon as I get off. Start with 5 pound weights. Got it. And go to muscle failure. Yes, that's the whole point. The slow burn method is good because you focus on form, less chance for injury. Yeah. So yeah, um, we are not ever picking a weight so light that you can just keep going and going and going. No, you have to pick a weight where you are going to reach muscular failure. And that's the point where your muscle fibers are signaled to hypertrophy, to grow and get stronger. So, all right, I'm going to jump off here. Thank you so much for joining. I will put out messages about next week's live, and we will get Fred himself on, and I can't wait to speak with him. So, all right. Did you learn from the book? I did, and I also have a close friend uh, who has been doing this slow burn method for a while. Fred, if you're still on here, okay, you are Fred. You just wrote, thank you. So, Fred, I would also like to, at some point, if you're up for it, I would make the drive up to your Montclair, New Jersey location, and that would be awesome. We could film a YouTube from there. And if anybody is interested, Fred does training in both his Manhattan location and Montclair, New Jersey. And I know there's some of you who came on here tonight that were very interested in the live here with Fred because you want to schedule with him to at least get you started with the whole methodology and then maybe go more local to where you are. Yes, come, I'll put you through a workout. Awesome. Um, yeah, and I would love to do that. And I'm very hopeful that next week we'll have you on, and I will see you all then. Thanks.